Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today watching Carthu Dojo. Who will be the next god of destruction? The obvious answer should be Vegeta. Should be Vegeta. I mean, people be saying, like, I see in the manga, he said Goku, stuff like that. But Goku, like, you know what I'm saying? Goku don't want to destroy planet. I mean, Vegeta don't really either no more. Broly, I mean, he seems like a kind soul, even though he has that, even though he has that rough edge around him. But he's a kind soul. So I don't know how. I don't know. So you got to be heartless and ruthless to be a god of destruction. So Vegeta is probably like the closest, but maybe old Vegeta. But this new Vegeta, I don't know. So I don't know who's gonna be the next god of destruction. I don't know. Granola. I don't know. Well, anyway, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and we'll get into it.
Hi? Sorry, I've never worked for a God of Destruction before, but Whis told me that you need a suitable candidate for God of Destruction, so I compiled a list of some potential options we could go through.
Try not to bore me. Whis hates when I leave scorch marks on the lawn.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. First, we have Goku. Oh, I recognize him, actually. I made a plan to kill him once. Anyway, Goku seemingly has good qualifications for this position. Apparently, he used destruction against the merged Zamasu in the future timeline, though it was a very scuffed version of the technique, and I'm not even sure this happened. It's almost like there's two parallel versions of how this fight and basically everything else has played out in the multiverse up to this point right now. Regardless, having a natural affinity for the signature technique of the gods of destruction puts him at a good starting point. Beyond that, Goku's proficiency and command over Ultra Instinct has already surpassed the level you've managed to achieve in your millions of years of life, Lord Beerus. To the point that in the Tournament of Power, you showed him true respect, with maybe even a little bit of fear. Then, after he gained fuller mastery and control over this godly power, you commended Goku's technique while fighting the Planet Eater Moro.
If you ever mention that again, I'll make you a candidate for destruction.
Understood, scratching that off the record immediately. But it's important to note that level of respect and admiration is rare from you, Lord Beerus. So I thought that perhaps you even see Goku as a good candidate for the role. But the biggest issue with Goku is himself. He has repeatedly said he doesn't want the position, so I don't see that changing anytime soon, especially since it's such a heartless job that doesn't suit Goku's nature and pure heart. And a quick side note, angels are a species, and they're all related, so stop saying this stupid fan theory that Goku will become an angel instead of a god of destruction at the end of the series, because it just doesn't make any damn sense. Pretty funny though, because Angel Goku is often paired with God of Destruction Vegeta, who I'm about to mention to Lord Beerus over here. So similarly to Goku, Vegeta's power qualifications are pretty impressive, with him specifically focusing on the path of destruction before the events that unfolded on Planet Cereal, even unlocking a transformation entirely fueled by that power called Ultra Ego.
That's a stupid sounding name.
I know, right? Anyway, from my research, it seems like you're more deeply invested in Vegeta than even Goku. The two of you have had a couple of fights after your search for the Super Saiyan God that led to Vegeta getting curb stomped both times. But these fights also helped Vegeta learn something in the process. When you two sparred for the first time, you even acknowledged that Vegeta is strong enough to be a candidate for God of Destruction, just in a different universe. The second time you fought him, you used it as a way to show Vegeta the true nature of destruction, allowing him to more truly understand the power you wield and what he needs to do to wield it himself.
It's not a terrible idea, but that Saiyan upstart is still second-rate compared to Goku. Why would I settle for second? Do you think the God of Destruction is second place?
No. Of course you're the strongest in Universe 7, if you don't count Whis, of course.
Whis. I'll include you.
My apologies, Lord Beerus. I didn't mean to touch on a sore spot there, but I do think we could take some inspiration on your candidate for God of Destruction by looking to other universes, specifically Universe 11. I think an interesting parallel could be made when you notice how Goku is to Vegeta is how Jiren is to Toppo. You see, Jiren's self-reliance and him shutting himself off from others, this lack of trust is an inverse of Goku, while Toppo's more open and cooperative nature is an inverse to Vegeta's more isolated personality. So maybe Goku, much like Jiren, will remain the stronger of the pair, but as the second strongest, Vegeta will fill the role of God of Destruction candidate that Goku doesn't want, just like Toppo.
So Vegeta is really the best I've got? I'd have preferred someone with a better sense of humor. And maybe a better hairline.
I wouldn't lock in Vegeta just yet, Lord Beerus, because I think he's got some bigger issues that a finasteride prescription just can't fix. As neat as that power level would be, it's hard to see Vegeta accepting a job that would likely isolate him from his family, especially seeing the way he acted with pregnant Bulma. Not to mention his own self-acknowledged
he ain't the same
inability to
person.
return to the callous man he was in the past twice, and once being when he embraced the powers of destruction. I think even if he was offered the job, Vegeta might just reject it outright, but he's someone we should keep in mind.
So the only two options I have are too soft.
Oh no, we're not even close to out of potential candidates yet, Lord Beerus. I mean, look at how many slides I have left.
Oh, really? Who else could even compete with those two?
Well, there is Goku's son, Son Gohan. No, that Son Gohan.
Hell
In
no.
terms of innate potential, his power ceiling seems to be far above Goku and Vegeta. He just lacks the dedication to maintain himself, but perhaps a position like God of Destruction would keep him in better shape due to the responsibility. Even if it doesn't, it isn't like being lazy and being a God of Destruction are mutually exclusive.
Like Champa.
Yeah, like Champa. Regardless, Gohan's current power clearly rivals that of Goku and Vegeta's with his new beast
Yes, sir.
form. Though it was just a spar, being able to overcome the speed of Ultra Instinct and knock Goku out of the form is still extremely impressive when you consider how well the form did against Jiren, Moro, and even more recently, Gas. Gohan has even had his hidden potential unleashed multiple times, however that works, and has gone on to surpass his own hidden potential, however that works. If you want a God of Destruction with a high likelihood to stay at the top of Universe 7 in terms of power, someone like Gohan would be a great choice. But he even has more to offer. As a scholar, Gohan has a research-oriented and analytical mind. So while Goku and Vegeta might have the power to be God of Destruction, their ability to know what planets should and shouldn't be destroyed is a bit more questionable, while someone like Gohan might be better for just increasing the overall mortal level of Universe 7.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
I've already said someone that straight-laced isn't suited for destruction.
You did? Oh,
Yeah, you did say that.
you did. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the next choice then.
Broly.
And he's right here on your planet. It's Broly. You see, Broly has no real home, so he doesn't have the same, pardon the pun, earthly attachments as the others do. If anything, it's a bonus for you because where Broly goes, Chi-Lai goes. And you seem to like having her around. In terms
True.
of actual qualifications, though, his
Just a
potential
little bit
is
unstable.
beyond belief. Clearly, it's so far beyond anyone else that when he loses control, it's more than just a planet or two at risk. But that makes his ceiling harder to reach than potentially even Gohan. According to Goku, Broly, when going all out, might even surpass you. So the power component is already there for him to be a God of Destruction. Honestly, if we're only considering power and no external attachments, Broly might be the best option by far.
You should have started with a pick that clear first. Whis, get that brute over here.
Please hold on one second, Lord Beerus, because there's still one important thing we have to consider here. While yes, Broly is probably the person with the most potential of anyone discussed so far, his drawback is control and technique. He only just recently learned how to control his own Super Saiyan transformation, and while its power is beyond any Super Saiyan seen before, it still took him a pretty long time to master it. Even you were unimpressed despite its pure power being seemingly hard to match. So how would Broly go about learning something as difficult as destruction, a godly technique that even took Vegeta a lot of training, self-reflection, and control to use at will? Even God Ki as a concept seems like it doesn't suit Broly and likely wouldn't work with his own unique Saiyan biology when compared to Goku and Vegeta. So I'm not sure this is a wall that can simply be overcome.
So are you going to give me an actual candidate or more dead ends, Morty?
Whoa, 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 it is age
Oh,
783, all right? You cannot
about
be
to say
calling
Frieza?
mortals that anymore. What is it with the people I
Y'all,
work
you gotta
for?
mention Frieza.
I gotta get a new job. Anyway, none of the options I presented to you are dead ends. They just all have flaws because no
Ooh,
one
Piccolo?
is perfect for this position, even if you want them to be.
At least give me a non-Saiyan for my next choice.
Sure, no more Saiyans. Hold on one second. How about Piccolo? In terms of power, Orange Piccolo is definitely up there. I do think he's weaker than the others I've mentioned, but I've recently received intel that he shouldn't be much weaker and could likely hold his own. He even used to be evil. He would
Let me read that
destroy
motherfucker. I
intel that he should.
And Dragon Ball Superhero. Piccolo becomes Orange Piccolo and Gohan becomes Vegeta. Considering that between Goku is either Piccolo and Broly, don't you wonder who's stronger?
Couldn't be much weaker and could likely hold his own. He even used to be evil. He would destroy and kill
Piccolo
for
should be
fun,
more stronger
so
since
doing
he
it
been
with
training with
purpose
Gohan.
now could be something he might be more comfortable with if it's for a greater good. Actually, he already was a god in the past. It's a long story, but half of him used to be the god of Earth, and then he merged
Piccolo
with
would be a
that
fire
half again,
choice.
granting him the memories and experience of his godly self, likely giving him an advantage in the knowledge required to become a god. Speaking of gods, a lot of gods actually came from the demon realm originally, specifically the Kai of the multiverse, who are all Glint. Actually, this would help me a lot if you don't mind, Lord Beerus. Are you from the demon realm?
Don't push your luck.
Right, sorry. Back to Piccolo. While he does have attachments to some of the people on Earth, they're not nearly as direct as Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, so I could see him moving to this world when the time for him to take over your position comes. I think the ability to visit Earth or be visited would be more than enough for him.
I get how this works now. Get to the problems.
Well, Piccolo might have had just a little bit too much of a change of heart. While fighting for Universe 7 in the Tournament of Power, he struggled to eliminate a universe. This is obviously far more severe and with less greater good than destroying unruly planets, but it could mean that Piccolo doesn't have the attitude for the job anymore. There's also his potential. Everyone else on this list just seems to have far higher potential than Piccolo, who, despite continuing his training, fell behind everyone else until using the Dragon Balls to awaken his own hidden potential. Even with his hidden potential fully unlocked, it wasn't enough to keep up, and a bonus power-up from Shenron was required for him to truly compete with the others mentioned before. So it's possible he's very close to his upper limit in terms of strength, which might not be the best fit for God of Destruction.
True.
Can we skip ahead to the best option?
Okay, sure. I was messing around up till now. I was saving the obvious choice up till last. Someone stronger than anyone else on this list. Someone you know and have worked with personally. There is no better option than him. Monaka.
Not him!
Why the hell not? Isn't he the strongest guy you ever fought?
I don't care. Not him!
Okay, I'm sorry, Lord Beerus. Jeez, I didn't know you had a falling out or something. My bad. My only other option is my old boss, Lord Frieza. In terms of potential, he might not have the most, but he's definitely in the upper half of this list, and his current power is seemingly beyond anyone else I've spoken about. Even if his innate potential isn't as large as someone like Broly, his ability to create transformations is very Saiyan-esque, and likely means he can learn advanced concepts like God Ki and Hakai. Especially when you remember he's been able to dedicate himself to years of training, as shown by the 10 years he trained in a time chamber. Then we have his intelligence. While I think his arrogance has cost him way too many opportunities in the past, I even have first-hand experience of that, he is undeniably an intelligent business and military leader. So in theory, he should be able to keep the universe's mortal level in balance.
Unfortunately, Frieza's the biggest upstart in the multiverse. We can't trust him to be alive, let alone do a good job as God of Destruction.
Well, it was you who allowed him to remain alive after the Tournament of Power.
He was going to be revived by Earth's Dragon Balls anyway, so I simply expedited the process.
Well, you could have just told them not to revive Frieza regardless, but either way, Earth's Dragon Balls already revived Frieza once. That means they can't do it again.
So you're telling me that idiot Saiyan actually played Frieza for a fool?
Whether Goku played Frieza, was just stupid, or didn't even know how Frieza was revived in the first place, it doesn't really matter, because all the same, you didn't have to revive the guy. And what's worse, this is what he's been doing to Universe 7 after being revived. I'm sure Zeno and the Grand Priest wouldn't approve of him being allowed to do this. But if you could spin it to be that he was always going to become a candidate for God of Destruction, perhaps even making it so this position is Frieza's new personal hell. A job that gives him power and influence over the universe, just like he wanted, but in a way that requires him to help it, or else he would be permanently erased. Well, it's a fitting and even a poetic punishment if you ask me.
Are these really my only options? Surely there's someone else.
Well, we did skip Monaka. Okay, I'll give you some space to consider what I presented. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
I knew I should have gotten the gig at the space car dealership, man. Anyway, you could check out my last gig right.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good video, because Pat, who was the best choice out of those? I did like the Piccolo choice, but then I like the part where he said, well, Piccolo can't get much stronger. I'm pretty sure if he learn like God of Destruction, he'll be stronger, but like even if he learned the God of Destruction, he'd still be weaker than like. I mean, as a God of Destruction, you don't have to be the strongest. Well, you're supposed to be one of the strongest in the universe, so I don't know. Like, imagine being the God of Destruction. You're stronger than like four of the people in your universe, four of the mortals in your universe. But whatever. Frieza is a good choice. Frieza is a good choice. That's probably the best choice. But Frieza just, yeah, he could be a little bit too uncontrolled, and he'll just start just destroying fucking planets for no reason. Broly's, you know, if you just train Broly and maybe, you know, teach him to be a God of Destruction. I don't know. That's a hard choice. Who y'all think would be the best God of Destruction? Who would y'all think be the best God of Destruction, man? Let me know down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last Carthu Dojo video right here. Check out another video you might like right here. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.